is good. The lighting is just crap. I want to sit. Oh, yeah, lighting's terrible, but I don't want to take my hat off because it looks so cute. Life is so hard. I had like a revelation, and not a revelation, that makes it sound a lot more dramatic than it is, but I was looking at it, I can't remember if it was like a TikTok or a reel or if it was like a static photo, I don't remember. It was this mom talking about the realities of mom life and how things aren't always perfect and, you know, things get messy or whatever. And she was sitting there on the couch like smiling happily while one of her kids was like crawling over her behind her and another child was like playing with a bunch of toys on the floor. Nothing wrong with any of that. I just want to be abundantly clear. But I looked at it and the mess matched the aesthetic. Like literally the mess in the living room was so perfectly curated that it matched the aesthetic. And now that's really unfair for me to say. I don't know if it was curated. It sure seemed curated because I, for one, have never seen my children look at, or my child, one child, look at the mess or look at the aesthetic of my house and go, I'm gonna make sure I grab all of my beige toys that have like the bright yellow undertone or whatever. Like, no, my son will just grab whatever toys and throw them wherever. And it's a mess. Playing with my kids, I keep saying kids, Jesus. I grew up like raising a lot of kids, being around a lot of kids, so it's in my head. It feels incredibly fake. And I'm realizing that a lot of mom content, I mean, a lot of like life in general, like social media is a complete disaster. Most mom content is fake. And I am not naive enough to think that nothing should be curated. Like everything's curated on social media. Even when we share our hardest days and our darkest days, we share what we want to share. We don't share what we don't want to share, and that's fine. We're all entitled to our privacy. The problem though, is when we act like we're sharing everything on social media. And we're leading people to believe that we're sharing everything on social media. And we're leading people to believe that, oh, my life it's such a mess because I've got 3 toys on the floor and one kid is playing quietly and one's crawling on me. Like, life is so hard. Maybe that content is not meant for me and I'm not the target audience. That may very well be true. But I also know that there's a lot of moms that's not the target, that isn't the target audience for that. Or that is a target audience for that and they're trying to sell something. And hey, I have an online business. I'm an online marketer. There's nothing wrong with selling stuff. I don't want anybody to hear me wrong. But something really does rub me the wrong way, that I feel very uncomfortable and like I'm going to be judged because I have all of this behind me. That I've got dishes, I've got a crock pot sitting here not put away, I've got dishes in the strainer, I've got dishes in my disher, Jesus, my sink. I've got stuff over here, I have stuff everywhere. Look at this. And I feel really uncomfortable sharing that, and I'm sharing it because I'm making a point. Not to say that I'm better than anybody, not to say that people need to change everything that they're doing, but I think it's time that we just get real. Like, I think the time for perfect aesthetics, I don't think it's come and gone, because I love aesthetic photos. I love seeing moms who have their shit together. I don't know if they really do. I don't believe anybody does personally. I think we're all humans with human brains and we all have our own trauma and that just makes a mess. I think it's time to be real. And this is especially so for single mom life because one, I don't see a lot of like single mom content really anywhere. Particularly, I don't see a lot of single mom stuff where they show the reality of the mess, where they show the piles of laundry, where they show the late nights and drinking coffee and spilling it everywhere at 6 o'clock at night because we spent the day working on the house and we didn't get any work done, so we have to work with our kids in bed and we're praying to God we get more than 2 hours of sleep before they wake us up in the morning. No one's talking about that. No one that I've seen. If people are talking about this, drop them in the comments because I need to connect with them because I want to be real together. I want to like be straight up real together. I can't say that my content will not be curated because it is, right? Like I've got a private life. I choose what to share and I choose what not to share. That's reality. There are parts of my life that I want to keep to myself and I don't have to put out here for everybody to see, and that's fine. I don't expect everybody to. I think we need to normalize this a bit, because there are a lot of moms, a majority of moms out here believing that we're not good enough, that we have failed our children by being single parents and not having the real perfect family. We have failed our children because things are a mess and there's things that need to go in the fridge that still aren't in the fridge, and there's dish soap on the counter, and there's garbage bags that need to get taken out, and there's piles of laundry. Y'all, I didn't do laundry in over 2 weeks, and I didn't realize that we hadn't done laundry because I hadn't put away the laundry that I did prior to that. It was all sitting in a pile on the couch. And I don't think enough people are talking about it, because when you're a single parent, you have multiple jobs to do. You have to be the mom, right? Talking to single moms, you have to be the single mom. You have to be the mom, the nurturer, the take care of her. You have to somehow either figure out the co-parenting situation. If it's not a healthy co-parenting situation, you have to navigate that. You have to make sure that everything gets done for that. You have to make sure that your kids are ready. You have to make sure that if you homeschool, that you are creating an environment for learning. If they go to public school or private school, that you're getting them ready to go to school. And then you also have to pay the bills. No one is talking about the reality of that. No one is showing the mess everywhere. No one is showing the dishes that have been sitting in the sink for 3 days. No one's talking about the laundry that isn't getting put away. No one's talking about it. I am committing right now to start talking about it. I don't want things to be a complete disaster, but sometimes things become a complete disaster. Like, sometimes work comes before doing the laundry, because I do have to make sure bills get paid. And then sometimes my sick child comes before work, and then I'm scrambling to get caught up because life happens. People that talk about balance, I'm not throwing shade at anybody in particular, but if balance exists, I haven't found it. And frankly, I was miserable looking for it. I don't think it exists. I think there's seasons. I think there's seasons of the house being perfect. I think there's seasons of being on top of work. I think there's seasons of spending a ton of time with our kids. And here's another reality. We don't get to spend all day every day with our kids, even when we work from home, because we're working. And we don't necessarily get to have a lot of the fun times with our kids because we're working. And if we're not working, making money, we're working doing the laundry, we're working doing the dishes, we're working doing the meal prep, we're working, cleaning up the pee off the floor in the bathroom for the 50th freaking time. And no one's talking about it. I'm really sick and tired of the fact that no one's talking about it. And if your life looks different than mine, I am not judging you at all. But I think more often than not, we are in this deep state of struggle, believing that we suck because of the images that are perpetuated. And if I can be a part of that change, it would be irresponsible not to. And I hope that this can be a place for you to come and realize that you're not alone. And you're doing a hell of a lot better than you think you are. Because spoiler alert, you are.